They told you it's just age. They told you to slow down, to take it easy, to accept the pain, the weakness, the numbness in your legs and feet like it was some inevitable curse. But let me tell you something shocking, and I need you to listen closely. What if I told you that your body isn't breaking down because of age, but because of neglect? Neglect of 3 crucial vitamins that your muscles are desperately screaming for. What if I told you that in just 14 days, you could begin to reverse the tingling, the shaking, the leg weakness? This robbed you of your strength, your confidence, and your independence. This is not hype. This is not a gimmick. This is science, but not the kind you'll hear in a rushed 5-minute doctor's visit. I'm talking about the buried, overlooked, and almost forgotten research that's been hidden in plain sight. Research that explains why so many people over 50 are silently losing their legs, one nerve signal at a time. Why you can't walk up the stairs anymore. Why you trip more often. Why your feet feel like they're wrapped in plastic, buzzing with tingling or barely feeling the floor at all. That's not normal aging. That's a warning. Today, I will take you deep inside the truth, the terrifying, eye-opening truth about what's happening inside your body. But more importantly, I'm going to hand you a lifeline. I'm going to walk you through the exact forgotten vitamins that could restore your balance, rebuild your muscles, and bring life back to your legs and feet. You have 14 days to begin changing your future, and it starts right here, right now. So before we dive in, I want you to do 3 things. First, like this video so more people can discover this life-saving information. Second, hit that subscribe button because this is the beginning of a health revolution for people who refuse to be forgotten. And third, I want you to tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? I want to know where in the world you're fighting this battle, where you're standing up to reclaim your strength. You are not alone. Let's begin. Let me take you back to a moment that shook me to my core. It was a late winter afternoon, and a woman in her late 60s walked into my office, barely able to lift her feet from the floor. Her steps were slow, her ankles wobbling, her fingers trembling. She looked at me with tired eyes and said, "Doctor, I don't want to be a burden. I just want to feel my legs again." I asked her how long it had been like this, and she said, "It crept in like a thief in the night. First it was tingling in my toes, then numbness, then weakness. Now I can't even trust my own body to carry me across the room." I remember the silence in that moment, and it made me furious that no one had told her the truth. You see, what she was experiencing wasn't just aging. It was a biochemical collapse, a nutritional emergency. Her body was crying out, not for surgery, not for more medications, but for 3 powerful, essential vitamins that had been depleted over time by poor diet, chronic inflammation, and yes, even stress. Vitamins that help fuel the electrical signals between brain and muscle, that regenerate damaged nerves, that rebuild strength from the inside out. And the saddest part, no one had told her, not her doctors, not her family, not the people she trusted to guide her. So she suffered in silence until now. And this story is not just hers. It's yours. It's your neighbor's. It's your mother, your father, your spouse, your best friend. Because here's the harsh truth. If you are over 60 or even over 50 and your legs are feeling weaker by the week, if your feet tingle, go numb, burn at night, or feel like they're wrapped in a layer of thick socks, you are not just getting old. You are starving on a cellular level. And the consequences are terrifying. Increased risks of falls, permanent nerve damage, muscle atrophy, even early death. But I want you to stop right now and breathe, because here's the miracle hiding inside the madness. Your body wants to heal. It's designed to repair. It's begging you for the raw materials it needs to rebuild. And the moment you give your body what it's been missing, these 3 forgotten vitamins, something incredible begins to happen. Within 7 to 14 days, patients have reported more control, more energy, Less tingling, stronger steps, muscles that once felt hollow begin to tighten again. Nerves that once buzzed like faulty wires begin to fire cleanly and clearly. It's like watching a dimming light bulb flicker back to life. And it's one of the most beautiful transformations I've ever seen. So why aren't we talking about this? Why aren't hospitals handing out this information with every walker, every prescription, every knee brace? Because we've been taught to treat symptoms, not causes, because we've been told that medications and machines are the solution, not nutrition. But the real solution is rooted in biology, your biology. And I'm going to show you how to reclaim it. Now, before we dive into the 3 life-changing vitamins your legs are screaming for, I want to say something from my heart. You have more power than you think, more resilience than you've been told. The fact that you're here listening to this tells me one thing: you're not ready to give up, and neither am I. Let's start with the first forgotten vitamin. This one is not sexy. It doesn't get headlines, but without it, your muscles are like an engine running dry. It's called vitamin B1, also known as thiamine, and its deficiency is one of the most underdiagnosed root causes of leg weakness and nerve tingling in adults over 50. Thiamine is like the spark plug of your nervous system. Every single time your brain sends a message to your legs to lift, to walk, to balance, that message needs thiamine to complete the circuit. Without enough, those signals get scrambled, the wires start to fail, you begin to feel tingling, burning, even numbness in your toes, your gait becomes unstable, you stand up and your legs shake. You can't trust them, you don't feel safe. Now here's the shocking part. Many common medications drain thiamine from your body. Diuretics, metformin, heart medications, even alcohol and sugary diets can quietly erode your thiamine reserves over time. I've seen patients with textbook signs of deficiency, foot drop, toe numbness, calf weakness, being sent from one specialist to another while no one thought to check their B1 levels. And all along, their body was starving for this one forgotten nutrient. But the good news? Replenishing B1 is not complicated. It just needs the right form, the right dose, and consistency. In just 10 to 14 days, some of my patients have reported an almost magical return of leg strength, better control of their steps, and even warmth returning to their feet. When nerves are given what they need, they begin to wake up. Now, let's talk about this second vitamin. This one is so critical, so life-saving, that a deficiency can mimic diseases like multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, and even early dementia. It's vitamin B12. Let's talk about vitamin B12, the second powerhouse nutrient that has been quietly draining on the millions of bodies, especially those over the age of 50, and stealing their strength, balance, and independence without warning. If you've been struggling with leg weakness, tingling feet, or sudden fatigue when walking just a few steps, then this section is for you. Listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you might save you from years of misdiagnosis, medications, and wheelchairs. Vitamin B12 is your nerve protector. It wraps around your nerves like a shield, a biological insulator called myelin, and allows electrical signals to pass smoothly from your brain to every part of your body, especially your legs. It's what allows you to lift your foot, flex your calf, wiggle your toes, and maintain your balance. Without B12, those signals become scrambled, sluggish, lost. And the tragedy is your body won't scream for help until it's dangerously low. That means by the time you feel the tingling, the burning, the numbness, by the time your knees buckle unexpectedly or your feet stop responding, the damage is already happening underneath the surface. I had a patient once, a retired school teacher named Evelyn. At 72, she was sharp, witty, and independent. Then, almost overnight, she began to stumble Her legs would go weak. Her hands would tremble. Her memory felt like it was breaking into pieces. Her doctors told her it was just old age. Some even whispered early dementia, but one test changed everything. Her B12 levels were shockingly low, so low they barely registered. We started high-dose supplementation immediately. And 2 weeks later, Evelyn walked into my office without her cane, with tears in her eyes, and said, "I thought it was disappearing, but I'm back." That's the power of B12. Now, here's the part no one tells you. As you age, your body's ability to absorb B12 plummets, especially if you've taken acid reflux medications, if you've had digestive issues, or if you follow a plant-based diet. Even meat eaters can be deficient if their gut can't process it properly. So many people walk around with normal blood levels on paper, but with functional deficiency. That leaves their legs weak, their nerves on fire, and their minds in a fog. If you're over 60, I almost guarantee you're running low unless you're supplementing intentionally. And when you replenish it, the results can be breathtaking. I've seen people regain control of their gait. I've seen burning, stabbing foot pain ease in days. I've seen patients go from dragging their legs to dancing at their granddaughter's wedding. That's what happens when your nerves finally get what they've been begging for. So we've covered B1 and B12, the two vitamins that are critical for turning the lights back on in your nervous system. But now we're about to talk about the third and final forgotten nutrient. And this one is different. It doesn't just protect your nerves. It rebuilds your strength. It fires up your muscles. It's the one that turns weakness into power if you use it right. This final nutrient is vitamin D. Yes, vitamin D, but not the way you've been told. See, for years, people thought vitamin D was only about bones, calcium absorption, osteoporosis, sunshine. That's the kindergarten version. The real truth, vitamin D is a master hormone, a conductor that regulates over 2,000 genes in your body, many of which are critical to nerve communication, muscle strength, and inflammatory control. And right now, in nearly every country on Earth, vitamin D levels are plummeting. Why? Because people are spending more time indoors, because we've been scared of the sun, because modern diets don't include what our ancestors ate. The result? A silent epidemic of weakness. Vitamin D deficiency is one of the leading causes of chronic leg pain, muscle tremors, balance problems, even frequent falls. Low vitamin D levels reduce the function of your fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones that catch you when you stumble, the ones that keep your legs stable as you rise from a chair, the ones that give you the strength to climb stairs or carry your grandchild. Without enough vitamin D, those muscles begin to atrophy, and once they shrink, every step becomes a risk. But when vitamin D levels are restored to optimal, not just normal, but optimal, something incredible happens. Muscles respond faster, nerves conduct more cleanly, inflammation fades, balance returns, and those trembling legs you thought were gone forever, they begin to feel alive again. I had a man once, 82 years old, Vietnam veteran. He came to me because he'd fallen twice in 1 week. His legs felt like jelly. He couldn't feel his feet. When we tested his vitamin D, it was undetectable. I'll never forget his face when 3 weeks into supplementation, he walked across my office without reaching for the walls. He looked at me and said, "Doc, I thought I'd die in a chair. Now I'm walking like a soldier again." So now I ask you, what's holding you back? Is it the fear that it's too late? Is it the belief that weakness is permanent? Is it the lie that this is just how it is at your age? Because I'm here to tell you, it's not. And you're not broken, you're just depleted. And depletion can be reversed. These three vitamins, B1, B12, and D, are not miracle pills. They're not gimmicks. They're fuel. They're the raw ingredients your nervous system needs to rebuild. And if you're willing to take the first step to nourish your body, to trust the process, and to commit for 14 days, you can begin to feel the shift. not in years, in days. In the next section, I'll walk you through the exact forms, dosages, and protocols to make this transformation real. I'll share the science, the timing, and the warning signs to look for. Because this isn't just theory, this is action. Let's go deeper now. You've heard the stories, you've felt the urgency, you know the danger, but now it's time to shift from awareness to action. Because knowledge without action is just another burden, and you've carried burdens long enough. So let's break it down step by step. What to do with these 3 forgotten vitamins over the next 14 days to begin rebuilding your strength, silencing those tingling feet, and restoring the power in your legs. Let's start with vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. Not just any thiamine. It's the kind in your average multivitamin. It barely works. The key is using a bioavailable form, one that your body can actually absorb and use right away. That form is benfotiamine. This fat-soluble version of B1 doesn't get flushed out like the regular stuff. It sticks around. It penetrates nerve tissue. It calms. Clinical studies have shown that benfotiamine can reduce neuropathy symptoms, tingling, burning, numbness, by up to 75% in just a few weeks. Here's the protocol I recommend to patients. Start with 300 mg of benfotiamine per day, taken with food. If your symptoms are severe, you can go up to 600 mg daily, but always split the dose, half in the morning, half in the evening, and pair it with a quality B-complex vitamin that includes B6 and folate, never folic acid, the synthetic form, but methylfolate, because these work synergistically. Within 3 to 5 days, many begin to feel a lightness in their legs, a softening of the pins and needles, a return of sensation in their feet. That's your body waking up. Next, let's move to vitamin B12. As I mentioned before, not just any form. You want the neurologically active version. Methylcobalamin. Avoid cyanocobalamin. It's cheap and poorly absorbed. Methylcobalamin crosses the blood-brain barrier. It supports myelin repair. It brings life back to dying nerves. The protocol, 5,000 meters per day, sublingual, that means under the tongue, for maximum absorption. If you have a severe nerve damage or numbness, consider a methylcobalamin injection once or twice a week for 1 month under medical supervision. For patients with balance issues and muscle weakness, I've seen profound improvement after just 2 weeks on this B12 protocol. One man, a 68-year-old former truck driver, told me his legs stopped shaking when he stood to get out of bed. His wife said he no longer dragged his right foot across the kitchen floor. This is not placebo. This is repair. Now, vitamin D. The dosage matters. The form matters, and the timing matters. For those who are severely deficient, and most people are, I start with 10,000 IU per day for the first 7 days, then taper to 5,000 IU daily for maintenance. Always take it with a meal containing healthy fat, avocado, olive oil, nuts, because it's fat soluble. But here's a real game changer. Combine it with vitamin K2, MK7. This ensures the calcium your body absorbs gets directed into your bones and muscles, not your arteries. I've seen too many people take high-dose vitamin D without K2 and end up with stiff joints or elevated calcium levels. And finally, don't forget magnesium. This mineral activates vitamin D in your body. Without magnesium, D can't do its job. So add 300 and 400 magnesium glycinate or malate each day. It calms the nerves, it stops spasms, it helps muscles contract and relax properly. That's how you prevent leg cramps and tremors while you rebuild. Now let's lay out the 14-day protocol timeline, what to expect each day. Day 1 to 3, you may notice a shift in energy. Some tingling might intensify temporarily. This is normal. It's the nerves beginning to fire again. You might feel warm flushes as blood circulation improves. Don't panic. This is healing, not harm. Day 4 to 6, tingling in the feet begins to dull. You may find your footing a little steadier. Climbing stairs feels less like lifting cement blocks. The fog in your head begins to clear. For some, sleep deepens, and the morning starts with strength. Day 7 to 10, nerve pain starts to fade. The burning sensation that's kept you up at night begins to quiet down. You may feel a tingling wave of sensation, real feeling, return to your toes or fingertips. It might bring you to tears. Day 11 to 14, balance improves. You'll find you can walk longer without needing to rest. That dragging sensation in your legs may vanish. Some even report being able to jog lightly, dance slowly, or stand on one foot without wobble. It's not magic, it's nourishment. And through all of this, I want you to understand this is just the beginning. The 14-day turnaround is proof that your body still wants to fight for you. But lasting recovery takes continued care. If you continue the protocol beyond 2 weeks with your doctor's guidance, you can stabilize those nerves, rebuild the myelin, and maintain strength long term. This isn't a quick fix. It's a foundation, a rebirth. Let's take a moment now not to look at vitamins or numbers, but at you, your heart, your mind. I know this journey hasn't been easy. I know you've faced silent battles, doctors shrugging their shoulders, family members not understanding why you keep falling. That fear in the middle of the night when your legs feel numb and foreign. I know what it feels like to be in a body that's slowly betraying you. But I want you to hear this from me clearly. You are not broken. You are healing. When your body screams, it's not to punish you. It's to alert you, to cry out for what is missing. What you're reading right now isn't hype. It's hope. It's science. It's a second chance. And it's yours for the taking. In the next chapter, I'll share real patient stories from around the world. People who walked into my clinic on trembling legs and walked out with tears of joy. People who had given up. People like you. Let me take you deeper into this emotional and electrifying journey, into the very heartbeat of this message. I'm not just here to rattle off supplements and science. I'm here to show you what these nutrients can truly do in real lives, raw, unfiltered, and breathtaking stories of transformation. Let me tell you about Maria. Maria is 72 years old. When she came to my clinic, she shuffled through the door, gripping her husband's arm like it was the last branch on a cliff. Her legs were so weak that even walking 10 steps left her breathless. The tingling in her feet had turned into numbness, and the numbness into stabbing shocks that kept her up night after night. She'd stopped going to church. She'd stopped gardening. She even stopped cooking her famous Sunday dinners because standing for more than 5 minutes was agony. Her joy was gone. She looked me in the eye with tears, and she whispered, "Doctor, is this what dying slowly feels like?" That moment pierced me, not just as a physician, but as a human being, because I've seen too many people like Maria. People who think their best years are behind them, who believe that decline is inevitable, and who have silently accepted a life of pain and limitation. But I told Maria something I'm going to tell you now. What if your pain isn't punishment? What if it's potential waiting to be unlocked? I started Maria on the same 3-vitamin protocol I've laid out for you. Vinfertiamine, vitamin D3 with K2. She was skeptical. Decades of disappointment had built thick walls of doubt, but she followed it. She showed up. She gave her body what it was begging for. On day 5, she sent me an email. The subject line, "My feet feel warm again." On day 10, her husband reported that she'd stood up from her recliner without help for the first time in over a year. By day 14, she baked a tray of lemon cookies and delivered them to her neighbor. She walked 4 blocks without a cane. That's the power of these forgotten vitamins, not just to ease symptoms, but to restore dignity, to return a person to the life, to turn a flickering candle into a wildfire of strength. And Maria isn't alone. There's Terrence, 66, a retired railroad worker who came to me dragging his right leg like it was dead weight. He'd been told it was just old age or bad circulation or maybe early Parkinson's. No one could agree. He was falling at night, afraid to walk to the bathroom, living in fear. But after 14 days on this protocol, guess what? His legs started responding. The dragging was gone. His step became smoother. He could feel the cold floor under his feet again, something he hadn't felt in 9 years. The look on his face when he told me, "Doc, I can feel my grandson's hand." When he grabs my toe, I'll never forget it. And then there's Leela, a 59-year-old nurse who took care of everyone but herself. Her hands had started shaking, her calves cramped nightly, and she felt like her career, her purpose was slipping away. We added magnesium paired with her B12 and D regimen. Not only did the cramping vanish within 2 weeks, but the shakiness in her hands reduced to nearly zero. She's back to working full shifts in the ER, strong, steady, and smiling. These aren't miracles. These are biological truths your body has been waiting to rediscover. Do you see it now? This isn't just about tingling feet or wobbly legs. It's about getting your life back. It's about walking across the room without fear, dancing at your granddaughter's wedding, picking up the phone with a steady hand, climbing the stairs to your own bedroom instead of sleeping on the couch. It's about reclaiming what you thought was lost forever. And now I want you to imagine yourself 14 days from now. It's morning, you swing your legs out of bed, and instead of pain or fear, you feel connection. You can feel your feet touching the floor. You stand up, you walk to the kitchen, not cautiously, not slowly, but with confidence. You make your coffee, you greet the sunlight, and you feel alive. You haven't changed your entire life. You haven't had surgery. You didn't need expensive treatments or invasive procedures. All you did was give your body what it was missing. You fed the nervous system. You fed the muscles. You fed the fire that had gone cold. And now it's burning bright again. That's what this protocol does. But listen carefully now. There's a reason why these 3 vitamins were forgotten. It wasn't because it was because they're not profitable. Pain pills, injections, surgery, they generate billions. But simple, powerful nutrients that heal from the inside out, they get ignored, overlooked, buried in dusty journals and small trials that never make it to prime time. But not anymore. You've seen the truth now. You've felt it. You can't unsee it. So what are you going to do? Are you going to let your legs get weaker every month? Let the numbness creep up your calves, into your knees, into your independence? Or are you going to take action? Start the 14-day challenge today. Commit. Follow the protocol. Watch your body respond. And don't keep it to yourself. Share this truth, because there's a Maria out there still gripping her husband's arm. A Terrence who thinks it's just old age. Isla, whose hands are trembling while she cares for others. They need this. You needed this. And now you have it. Let's go deeper. Let's make this real. Let's talk daily transformation. What should you actually be doing every single day over these 14 days to rebuild the strength in your legs, calm the tingling in your feet, and awaken the nerves that may have been asleep for years? Because healing isn't about wishful thinking. Healing is structure. It's intention. It's showing up for your body with the same dedication you've given everyone else in your life. You've carried people. You've served. You've worked through pain. Now it's time to turn that commitment inward. Let's build this from the ground up, day by day. Day 1, the awakening. You wake up and take your first capsule of benfotium. This is an ordinary thiamine. This is fat-soluble, nerve-penetrating, inflammation-destroying benfotium. You follow it with methylcobalamin, a powerful form of B12 that goes straight to your nervous system. And you finish with vitamin D3, but not just D3 alone, paired with K2 to unlock calcium from the wrong places and deliver it straight to your muscles and bone. And then something surprising happens. Within hours, your body begins to shift. It's microscopic, it's subtle, but your nerve fibers begin to breathe again. The inflammation begins to retreat. the energy pathways in your muscle cells, mitochondria, start to activate like B23, the resistance. We don't expect fireworks yet. In fact, some people feel worse before they feel better. Why? Because your body is adjusting. The damaged nerves are waking up. That pins and needles feeling may intensify temporarily. That's the storm before the calm. This is the part where most people give up, but not you, because now you understand the science. You know that vitamin B1 in the form of benfotiamine is repairing the very cables of your electrical system. Then B12 is building the sheath around those cables. That vitamin D3 is clearing out the rust, oiling the gears, and stabilizing your internal scaffolding. Stay the course. Day 4-5, the shift. Here's where it gets interesting. You start noticing moments. You rise from your chair and realize, wait, your legs aren't as heavy. You step onto the bathroom tile, and for the first time in years, you feel the cold sensation under your feet. It startles you. It's almost like you're living in a new body. Why? Because these nutrients aren't just treating symptoms. They're rewiring the machine. They're healing the root, the damaged mile and the broken blood flow, the mitochondrial dysfunction in your leg muscle. You're not just getting better, you're rebuilding. By 6-7, the clarity. By now, you're sleeping better. Why? Because vitamin B12 in its active methylcobalamin form is also healing your brain stem, the very center that controls your sleep cycles, your balance, your alertness. You're waking up sharper, less foggy. Your mind is lighter. Your hands are steadier. That morning coffee doesn't shake in your grip anymore. And when you walk, the limp is smaller, the confidence is larger, you feel hope, not because someone told you, because you can feel it in your bones, in your muscles, in your step. Day 8-10, the reconnection. This is where your nerves begin forming new pathways. Neurologists call it remyelination, and neuroplasticity, I call it rebirth. That's not exaggeration, it's science. With consistent intake of benfotiamine and methylcobalamin, studies show measurable regeneration in nerve conductivity in less than 2 weeks. So when you feel that new sensation in your toes, that's real. When your calves ache, not from weakness, but from use, that's real. When you take the stairs and your knees don't feel like glass, that's victory. Day 11-12, the power surge. You stand longer, you move quicker, your posture is stronger. Why? Because vitamin D isn't just for bones. It acts on over 200 genes that regulate your muscular system. And when paired with K2, it clears the calcium from your arteries and forces it back into your bones where it belongs. Suddenly, you're no longer stiff, you're supple. Your ligaments feel like they've been oiled. Your knees don't creak. Your hips don't scream. You feel powerful. And you are. Day 13-14, the revelation. You reach the mirror. You stand tall. You raise your foot, hold your balance, and smile. Why? Because for the first time in years, you're stable. No cane, no fear, no waiting for someone else to lift you up. You are the lift. You have become your own miracle. And guess what? This is just the beginning. These 3 vitamins, benfotiamine, methylcobalamin, and vitamin D3/K2. They're the foundation. But there's one more vitamin, the forgotten fourth, that has taken people from walking to running, from trembling hands to steady grip, from wheelchairs to hiking trails. You want to know what it is? I'll share that with you in the next session, along with what foods to eat to supercharge these vitamins, the biggest mistakes people make, and how to maintain your strength for the next 10, 20, even 30 years of your life. The forgotten fourth vitamin, acid denerve whisperer. Yes, I promised you a shocking revelation, and here it is. There's one more compound, one so powerful, so overlooked, that it has literally reversed nerve damage in clinical study, that has stopped pain, restored sensation, and accelerated nerve healing faster than anything else in its class. And yet, most people suffering from tingling feet and weak legs have never even heard of it. Its name? Alpha lipoic acid, ALA. This isn't just another antioxidant. ALA is a dual-action powerhouse. It works in both water and fat environments, meaning it can travel everywhere in your body, from your blood to your nerves to your spinal fluid. It neutralizes the free radicals destroying your nerves and recycles other antioxidants like glutathione, giving your body a second wave of healing every single time. But more than that, it supercharges the very vitamins we just talked about. Benfotiamine works better with ALA. Methylcobalamin penetrates deeper.
Vitamin D pathways function smoother. This vitamin doesn't just support nerve repair, it commands it. And the results? In Germany, where ALA is actually prescribed for diabetic neuropathy, patients experience reduced tingling, less burning, stronger legs, and sharper sensations within days, not months, days. Now, tell me, isn't it a crime that no one is telling you this? So yes, add alpha lipoic acid to your 14-day protocol. 600 milligrams a day, take it with food, and feel the fire that once burned in your nerves turn into light, into energy, into motion. The foods that bring your nerves back to life. Now that you've armed yourself with the 4 forgotten vitamins, benfotiamine, methylcobalamin, vitamin D3/K2, and alpha lipoic acid. You need the fuel, the raw materials, because your body doesn't run on supplements alone. It runs on real food, food with color, with nutrients, with ancient healing wisdom your body has been craving for decades. Let's start with the top foods that recharge your nervous system. 1, wild-caught salmon, rich in B12 and omega-3s. This is brain food, nerve food, and muscle food, all in one. It reduces inflammation in the myelin sheath and improves conductivity between nerves and muscle. 2, spinach and kale. These aren't just greens. They're nerve shields. Rich in magnesium, folate, and antioxidants, they protect against oxidative stress, reduce nerve pain, and support muscular contractions. 3, eggs. Nature's multivitamin. Packed with B12, choline, critical for brain function, and essential fats. The yolk is your friend, not your enemy. 4, sunflower seeds and almonds. Vitamin E is crucial for nerve repair, and these nuts are packed with it. Just a handful a day can improve nerve function and blood flow. 5, mushrooms, especially shiitake and maitake. They boost immune function, support B vitamin synthesis, and reduce neuropathic pain in clinical studies. 6, avocados, healthy fats, potassium, magnesium, all wrapped in one creamy anti-inflammatory package. They nourish every part of the nervous system and reduce spasms and cramps. 7, turmeric with black pepper, a natural anti-inflammatory that targets nerve pain, tingling, and swelling. Combine with black pepper to increase absorption by 2,000%. You see, real healing is not just about a pill or a protocol. It's about a lifestyle shift, a mindset of transformation. The 3 deadly mistakes that are blocking your healing right now. I've seen this over and over. Patients come to me broken, discouraged. They've tried everything. Creams, painkillers, even surgeries, but they're still weak, still tingling, still scared. Why? Because they're unknowingly making 3 silent but devastating mistakes. 1, relying on painkillers instead of rebuilding the nerves. Medications numb, they don't heal, they don't regenerate. And over time, they can worsen the very symptoms they're supposed to mask. You must switch from symptom suppression to root cause resolution. 2, ignoring their diet. You cannot heal a damaged nervous system with processed food. Sugar inflames, trans fats destroy, artificial ingredients confuse your cells. If your plate is beige, your health will fade. Period. 3, giving up too early. Nerve repair takes time. It's not linear. One day may feel miraculous, the next frustrating, but consistency beats motivation. Those who stay the course, they walk again, they feel again, they live again. Never, ever forget this. Your nerves are not dead, they're dormant. They are waiting for the signal, for the nutrients, for the support, for the hope. You can give it to them. You can bring them back. And if you're still reading or listening right now, then you're not just curious, you're ready. Ready for the 14-day leg and foot restoration protocol? Here's what you do. It's simple, it's effective, and it works. Morning milk focus, Benfotiam mixture, vitamin D3 and 2000 IU with K2, breakfast, 2 eggs plus sauteed spinach plus avocado, midday, alpha lipoic acid, 300 milligrams with lunch, meal, grilled salmon with kale and olive oil, evening, Micronesian vegetables, 300 milligrams, light dinner, lentils, turmeric, seasoned vegetables, and almonds. Walk for 10 minutes, helps circulation and vitamin D activation. Sleep, go to bed by 10:30 p.m., no screens, magnesium-rich tea like chamomile or lemon balm. Gratitude for progress, no matter how small. And finally, every single day, visualize your healing. Picture yourself walking confidently, picture yourself free from fear, picture yourself climbing stairs, chasing your grandkids, walking on the beach with no cane, no pain, no hesitation. You are not broken. You are rebuilding. You are becoming. And I'll be with you every step of the way. So now I ask you, right here, right now, how many more mornings will you wake up afraid to put your feet on the floor? How many more nights will you lay in bed praying that the burning, the tingling, the numbness just disappears on its own? How many more years will you tell yourself, maybe this is just part of aging, while your body sends silent screams through every nerve in your legs? You were not born to decay slowly. You were not meant to live in quiet suffering. You were built for strength. You were built for movement. You were built for purpose, joy, laughter, and freedom. And now you know the truth. You know the 3 forgotten vitamins that science has confirmed, and yet the world continues to ignore. You know how they can awaken dead nerves. You know how they can fuel your muscles, restore your balance, and bring back the strength you thought was gone forever. You know how to eat like your life depends on it, because it does. And now you know. It only takes 14 days to feel the shift, 14 days to silence the tingling, 14 days to feel your legs come alive again, 14 days to rebuild the strength in your body and the confidence in your soul. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. This is it. You don't need another doctor to finally figure it out. You've just been handed the answers. And you don't need to wonder if it will work for someone your age. Because I've seen it work for 62-year-olds, 76-year-olds, and 94-year-olds. Not because they had perfect health, but because they had one thing: belief. Belief that the body can heal. Belief that pain is not permanent. Belief that strength can return, even after decades of decline. So, stand up now. Not just physically, stand up inside yourself. Let your spine stretch. Let your heart open. Let your lungs fill with fresh air and fire. Say to yourself, I am not done. Say it, I am not broken. Say it again, I am rebuilding, and you are. Every time you eat with purpose, every time you nourish your nerves, every time you say no to sugar and yes to healing, every time you choose faith over fear, you are rebuilding. So I want you to do something now, something bold. Take the 14-day challenge. Take your vitamins. Eat your healing foods. Move your legs every day and write down how you feel. Day 1, day 7, day 14. Because the world needs your testimony, your family needs your strength. You deserve to feel your legs carry you like they used to, solid, steady, and strong. And when that moment comes, and I promise you it will, when you realize the pain is fading, the tingling is softening, The strength is returning. I want you to come back to this moment and say, this is the day I chose to heal. And now, before you go, do this for me. Like this video if it opened your eyes. Subscribe to the channel if you believe more people deserve to hear the truth. And in the comments, tell me, where are you watching from? Because I want to know where in the world you're standing up, where you're choosing healing over helplessness, where you're deciding that your legs, your nerves, and your life are worth fighting for. You've got 14 days.